Hey, everybody, I could not be more.
God sent his son, and they called him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He bled and died just to buy my pardon.
Oh my goodness.
The living just because
Yes,
you.
yes,
Oh, I
come
love
on.
that. Oh, I love that.
I'm
I'm
so glad you love that, Cyndi.
Oh my God, I'm so glad. Y'all said, I'm so, I'm
Oh,
so, I'm so
oh,
glad you
oh,
leave us.
oh.
Yes. I'm
So
so glad.
fun, so fun, and life is worth the living just
You better
because it
believe it. You better
tonight.
believe it.
Welcome to the pop up. Welcome to the pop up live chat. And by nature of its brand, the pop up can literally pop up anytime, any place, any day, any hour of the day. It's just an opportunity for us to stop and bring some joy in your life and to empower you with faith filled words, with faith filled ideas, with the kind of thing that's going to keep you going, not just at night, not just through the day, but through the entire month and, in fact, through the entire year. Now, let me be honest, Cyndi, I couldn't think of a better time to pop up than the first of the month.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And you
Come
know
on.
how life is? Things
Right,
pop up when they get ready. They're not scheduled.
right,
Life happens, and we don't get to say, oh, we'll wait until the 15th or the 30th or the 20th. Pop
right,
ups are not scheduled. So that's why we do it. What a
right.
better time to do it than in the eighth month?
I mean, seriously, when you think about the number eight, new beginnings. So I put up a reel, Cyndi, yesterday. I'll be honest, you guys, I was charging the car and I have this new EV. I love my car, love all the things, all the things. I haven't yet gotten my home charging system set up, so I go to these various places to charge up the car. And so even though it's a supercharger and it's fast, the reality is it takes a little time. And so I'm
Yes.
sitting in the car and it's July 31st, and this thought just hits me like a ton of bricks. If you don't hurry up, if you don't get it together. And then the third question that hit me was, and what are you waiting for exactly? Like
My Lord.
what are you waiting for? So the number eight, as Cyndi and I both know, and many of you know, it means new beginnings. So I can't think of a better time to get up. You guys, whatever it is that's on your mind, whatever's in your heart, whatever you're thinking about right now, I want to push you. And some of the people who commented on the post, commented on the reel, they were like, I sense a little something. I sense a little tone. I was like, yeah, you sense a little tone. Because if we're not careful, we'll get to the end of our lives, not just of the month, not just of the week. We'll get to the end
But
of
our lives.
our lives. And before you know it, time goes so quickly. And you know the quote, the richest place, right?
Yes.
The most enriched
The
place.
cemetery. I'm sorry, I just finished your sentence.
No,
It's
I
the
just
gra-
want
it's
to
the
let
it's the
that
it's the
breathe.
it's the grave it's the graveyard.
I
Because
want
we
you to
take
think of
dreams, we take aspirations, we take goals to the graveyard. We write stuff down and we say, oh, I'm going to do this by March. March was that Trinity month, that Trinitarian. We said, oh, I'll get it done by the fifth month. Five is the number of grace. Oh, God, give me grace to get it done. Six, the number of man. We just keep going. Seven, completion. Yesterday was 731. There were things that should have been completed before we started our new beginning. And we just quote those numbers and we just keep saying what we're going to do. And before we know it, we land in the graveyard with our
right.
goals, aspirations, and our dreams.
That's right. And then the other thing I thought about, because Cyndi, your life moves so quickly, my life moves so quickly. We're both so busy. We both have so many things going on. But then I thought about this. If we're not careful, you guys, and I'm talking to you who are watching live, I'm talking to you who are watching the replay, many times we'll go so hard for everybody else.
Everyone else.
Somebody else asks you to bake the cupcakes, you bake the cupcakes, right? If somebody else asks you to show up on this date at this time to do any number of things, we do it. But what
Yes.
about when it's for ourselves? So as we begin, as we open on tonight's pop-up, Cyndi and I just want to encourage you, whatever it is that your mind conceives, whatever is in your hand to do, now is the time to do it. Right? Now's
Yes.
the time to do it. Okay, Cyndi, anything else on that? And then we're moving.
No, and why is right now the time to do it? Because that's all we have. That is all we tomorrow, it's not a cliche. Tomorrow's not promised. As I look up and down my timeline on a daily, weekly basis, there's so many that I never thought I would see RIP in front of their names. And all we have is right now. Real quickly, let me share my bed, my bedroom. I have a whole brand new bedroom suit. My bed is so big. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, for a big, big, comfortable bed. But when I've been coming home, Lisa, I've been so busy. I take off my clothes, hit the shower, lay my clothes on the bed. And before I knew it, I had a pile up to here. I
Right.
had handbags, I had shoes, I had clothing. And I've been saying, and I'm not ashamed to say it, for over a month, I'm going to clear this bed off. I've had a
Right.
number of trips. And before I knew it, it would be time to go to the next
Next
engagement,
trip.
the
Yes.
next trip,
Yes.
the next event. And my clothes were piled up to here. Clothes that needed to go to the dry cleaners, clothes that
Right.
needed to be hung up in the closet, clothes that needed to be washed. I completed my task today.
You did it.
And I probably should have did it in the month of July, but the point is, I said I was not going to go into the 8th month and look up and it's August 18th or August 25th, August 30th, and I was still saying what I was going to do in June and July. We
Right.
have to make up our minds to do what we say we're going to do
And get it done. Get
and
it done.
stop lying to ourselves.
Right, right. It's time to get it done. So, our
Yeah,
first charge for you guys tonight, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on the replay, is I imagine that as we've been sharing, there is something that's come to your mind to do. I'm going to really push you guys. I don't want you to think about it today. I want you to do it today. Even if it's just taking a step, even if it's just sending a text, even if it's just researching
yes,
something on Google, even if it's picking up the clothes, folding the clothes, putting the clothes away. Whatever it is, I want you to be making big steps toward whatever the big goal is.
yes.
All right, moving on. So there is this book, Cyndi. There's this book. There's this
Okay.
book. And our women's group at church, Bonaire Baptist Church, our women's group has been reviewing this book. And so I thought on the pop up, we could talk about the chapter that I reviewed with the women's group. And I'd love to get your thoughts about this. And you guys in the comments, feel free to share with us what you think as well, and all the things, all the things. So the name of the book is Lies Women Believe. Now, you know, we
Wow.
love a good title. You know, we love a
I,
good title.
I'm already liking that. That sounds like a Netflix series.
Right. We love a good title because Cyndi, somebody has been out here lying to these women. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes,
Folks
yes,
have been lying to women. And the sad part about it, my friend, is I feel like we've been lying to ourselves. In addition to the lies that we have been told, there are lies that we are telling ourselves. So I want to
yes.
get to chapter 5. And if you get into this book, I don't think you will be disappointed. I'll put a link. I'm on
Please,
we're
yes,
on all of our socials just about right now. And so I'll go back at the end of the live and I'll put a link to the book so you can check it out. And from time to time, Cyndi and I will be reviewing a piece of a book or reviewing the whole
yes.
book, just telling you what we think. So this will be a common occurrence that happens with the pop-up. So here's the deal. Lies women believe. Lies women believe. In chapter 5, the topic of the chapter really is priority. Right, it's priority. So, Cyndi, let me just ask you: when you think about women, all these years you've been working with women, what do you think we spend our time doing? Just anything that comes to the top of your mind. What do we spend our time doing?
We spend most of our time taking care of others.
Isn't that true? Oh my gosh. I found myself at a certain point looking at my life like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm taking care of
Yeah,
this person, taking care of that person, this ministry, this job opportunity. I mean, the
yes,
list went on and on and on. And then where's the time for me? Where's the time for me? So
exactly.
a lot of times, as you're inferring, we focus our time, we focus our energy on what we're doing for others. Okay, come on, give me some more, Cyndi. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Oh, cleaning house.
Right,
Oh, cooking meals.
right,
Oh, my goodness. Working, you can't forget that 9 to 5, 10 to 4,
right,
1 to 9. Half of our day is spent working on someone's job, coming
Right.
home, cleaning house, cooking meals, and that still goes into taking care of others.
That's it.
Because if you're not an entrepreneur and if it's not your own business, you're taking care of someone else's dream.
Right. Oh, I love the way you said that. I
As
love the way
much as I mean, there's some beautiful, wonderful opportunities out here in the world. God afforded me some wonderful ones when I did corporate, and I'm thankful for it. But we're making someone else's dream come true.
right. And then what about your dream? What about your dream? So Cyndi laid it out for you guys. Cyndi laid it out. So very often we are cooking, we are cleaning, we are running errands, right? We are caretaking, right? Once you get to a certain stage in life, often
Yes,
it's not just the kids, but it's the seniors, it's the elders in your family. So we are caretaking as well, right? We are working. There's the 9 to 5. And then for those of you who are mompreneurs or entrepreneurs
yes.
or hustlers or gig specialists, come on, you're doing your 9 to 5 and then you're doing your 5 to 9, right? So it's all of those things. But from a faith filled perspective, come on, help us prioritize. When we prioritize all of those things, what should be at the top of the list?
Well,
Go
the
ahead.
real priority is supposed to be God first.
Come
And,
on.
of course, if you are married, then comes your spouse, then your children, and then your job. And, it's supposed to go there. There's supposed to be a hierarchy of how to take care of business from a biblical standpoint. But a lot of us have it totally unbalanced. We're going from the bottom up instead of from the top down. And that's why
Right.
we're so burnt out. That's why we're so tired. That's why we are just giving out. That's why our goals are not being met because our priorities are not straight. I had someone ask me
Mm,
as early as last year, last spring, how do I prioritize my life? How do I do as a single woman ministry, my family, myself? They said, you're really into self-care. How do
right,
you
right, right,
do it? And I said, you
right.
know what? I love my family so much. We're like, what's that on Good Times? We're tighter than pantyhose, two sizes small. But guess what? They don't come first.
They can't. They
I,
can't.
I probably just messed somebody up. They don't come first.
No, no, you didn't mess somebody up. And the reason I want to just hand clap that just as quickly as I can is because I think if we put everyone else first, right, what we end up doing is putting ourselves last. Right, putting everybody else first, putting everything else first means that you put you last. When I was in my 20s, I listened to Susan Taylor, and I have quoted this since the day I heard it. Literally, it was one of those times that I heard a quote and it changed my life, right? Because it helped me to think differently. What Susan Taylor said was fill your cup first and feed others with the overflow. And if you've
And
heard
then
me share before, you probably have heard me say that. Fill your cup first and feed others with the overflow. How many times have we heard the analogy that when you're on the plane, if the plane is having turbulence, who gets the mask first? Who's supposed to get the
mask yourself first.
Okay, so we're faith filled. We have a faith orientation. I know I'm out there on LinkedIn, and some of you may be, some of you may not be. But even if you don't get it from a biblical perspective, let me just share it from a plain perspective. How in the world can you pour into all the other things, all the other people, and you're not a good you yet? Right? You need to be
Exactly.
a good you. And for those of you who, like me, come from a faith filled tradition, even the scripture teaches us to love our neighbor. Love the teaching on that. Do a lot of teaching on that. But then we forget the other part as
To
we
love yourself.
come on, Cyndi. Come
So
on, Cyndi.
ourselves, we're supposed to be the example. It doesn't say love your neighbor as you love your mom. It doesn't say love your neighbor as you love your children. It
Right.
says as you love yourself. And so we are supposed to be the examples of how to treat someone else as well as how to treat ourselves.
That's exactly right. And the other thing that I learned, and believe me, I don't know of a powerful person that doesn't need to be taught this. This isn't
Exactly.
something, I have to be honest with you and say, I heard Susan Taylor say that in my 20s, but it took me years, and if I'm really honest, decades to really, really get it. Right. To
Yeah.
really, really get that my family did not need Thanksgiving dinner on a Thursday night. Right. That I could give my family a sandwich. I could go to the gym and no one would die. Right. That the world would continue if I didn't
Lord have
show up to
mercy.
every single rehearsal. That if I could just go to bed, right, then I could turn around and show up the next day for my family, for myself, for my job, for my all the things that I do, that I could show up a better me if I put me first. Now, I know this for some of you, it sounds radical, and it may not even
Where's
sound
my
biblical.
offering? I'm trying to find my offering. I'm trying to give my offering. I was trying to find my pocketbook. Trying to
Come
find
on,
my
Cash App,
pocketbook so I
Elisa
could.
in
You're
Christ.
teaching.
Cash App,
You
Elisa in
teach. You hear me? Because that is information that people are missing.
Yes. Yeah,
No
and we're
one's
stressed
going to
out.
die if I miss something. There was a time when I had, because we're socialites and we can't help it. It's the way God made us. He made us extremely extroverted, and we love to be around people. We love to help people. And I was all of a sudden getting this influx of invitations to come to this birthday,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
graduation, this bar mitzvah, this anniversary party, this Christmas party, this Groundhog Day party. I mean, we can throw anything is worth celebrating.
Okay. That's
And
a
I
lot.
was sitting there trying to, okay, if I go here for 30 minutes and then, oh, that's just down the street. And then I'll go here and okay. And
Right.
then and Wednesday I need to, and everything in my calendar, my at a glance was what someone had invited me to do. And there was nothing about what I was inviting me to.
Right.
What
Where
about
are
inviting
you?
me to and what do you mean inviting you? A nice hot bubble bath,
Yes.
inviting me to a walk around my neighborhood, inviting myself to a trip to the library or the museum,
Right.
inviting myself to take a staycation, just inviting me to spend time with me. My calendar was becoming full of things that I could do for other people. And I'm so glad that I learned to pull away and the power of the word no. Because
Oh,
when I began to say, and I didn't even need an explanation. I'm going to tell somebody something and I hope it helps today. I started saying things like, I'm so sorry. I have a prior engagement.
right.
I didn't say I have a preaching engagement. I have a prior engagement. That engagement meant engaging with me.
Thank you. An engagement with the tub.
That's an engagement. I'm
That is an
engaging.
engagement. That is an
Oh, I'm so
engagement.
sorry. I have a prior engagement. And it
No, what
doesn't need, you don't need any more explanation after
you
that.
you do not. What you're saying is so very, very powerful. And I know that there are some may think, okay, I got it. But the question is, are you doing it?
Are
You
you
know,
doing it?
does your calendar, when you look at your phone and you look at the calendar, when you look at your text messages, are you live? Because this is what I had to catch in myself. Are you living your life according to your notifications? Right? Do
Lord.
the notifications, are they, the scripture says, in all thy ways, acknowledge him and he will direct thy path. Are you living your life such that in all your ways, I will look at my phone and my notifications shall direct, my iPhone will direct my path? I had to be honest with myself and say, even if they're good things, are they God things? Right? Even if
Exactly.
they're good things, are they ordered things for me? Do they
Exactly.
align according to my focus, my agenda, what I am trying
Exactly.
to accomplish? Right? What am I trying to accomplish? What am I going? Those are the kinds of things that I want us to really be clear about. Okay, so let me back into the book again. Chapter 5 is about
Okay.
priorities. And so there are all these lies, and she has them numbered. Lie number 18 is, I don't have time to do everything I'm supposed to do. That's a lie.
Wow.
I don't have time to do everything I'm supposed to do. Her position, the author's position, is that is a lie. That the truth of the matter is, if God created the earth and the way he did, and there are systems and there is structure, there is order, you are living
Exactly.
in chaos, and it is unnecessary, unnecessary chaos. If you get to the end of your day with I don't have, no, you do have time.
Yes, you
It's
do.
just that very often we have chosen good things and not God things. We've chosen
Lord
to
Jesus.
serve everything and everybody, and we have forgotten that key word that you shared, that little powerful word that you shared, that word that is so hard to say that you shared, and it's the word no, right? No. No, and you've heard it said before, perhaps, and that's that no is a complete sentence, right?
Exactly.
No is a complete sentence. And if you need a little fluff to add to that, Pastor Cyndi already gave you a really great script. I have a prior engagement,
I have a
right?
prior engagement.
So there you go with that. All right. So here's an affirmation that I want to leave with you. I trust in God's perfect timing, prioritizing what truly matters, and seeking his guidance to balance my responsibilities with grace and with wisdom. We
Oh, that's
talk,
good.
isn't
That's
that good?
would
Let
you
me
would you please read that again?
Yes, I trust in God's perfect timing, because sometimes we're stressed out trying to create things, right? And what we're doing is creating chaos, right? So I
Exactly.
trust in God's perfect timing, prioritizing, right? Back to that word priority, what truly matters, and seeking his guidance to balance my responsibilities with grace and wisdom. Right? I need grace for today. I need wisdom for today. That is
It's
it's a
good.
beautiful affirmation. In fact, I have a new affirmation. I do guided affirmations on my YouTube channel. And so this is coming out on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching me out there, feel free to,
Awesome.
look at my page, search around on my
Yeah.
channel, because I have some guided meditations. Because listen, I don't care what anybody says, this world, particularly right now, can be very
Woo.
stressful. But what do we
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
do? Trust in God's perfect timing, prioritizing what truly matters, and seeking his guidance to balance my responsibilities with grace and wisdom. In order
I
to
like
get into
that.
a centered place, a Christian guided meditation may be the answer for you. So feel free to check me out, Elisa Alexander online, or just use my name, Elisa Sample Alexander, on YouTube. If you're following me or watching this on one of my other channels, feel free to check those out. And I have a new one coming out, and my new guided meditation that I worked on even this day, early this morning, is You Can Begin Again.
It's good.
You can begin again. So if that just registered with you, if you would click subscribe and then click that notifications bell, so that when I put it up there, you'll be among the first to grab
Yes.
it and use it, remembering that you can begin again. All right, very quickly, I want to go to line number 19. Line number 19 is I can make it without consistent time in the word and prayer. I wish you would.
Wow.
I can make, that's a lie, right? The author is saying, line 19, I can make it without consistent time. I want you to think about your phone. All of us, if we're not careful, we live by these days, right?
Exactly.
We have this in our hands because our banking information is here, our health information is here. In addition to it being the phone, it's also our photo album, it's our camera, it's our studio, I have a friend who uses this for her podcast. I mean, seriously, this thing
It's everything. It's everything.
does that thing work if you don't plug it in? If you don't plug
Nope.
that thing in at night, think about that. Think about your diet. Think about your diet. If you don't eat, or if you eat, but you eat bad food, and we'll get on into some of that in a minute. But if you eat and you don't eat the kind of food that encourages you, empowers you, enriches
Yes.
you, powers you up, right? Takis and hot Cheetos is not on the list, okay?
How do people? I don't know how they do it.
Right. Come on now. If what happens when those things happen? Right. If you're not plugged into the source, right? If
Exactly.
you're not feeding yourself the things that you need, I don't know how you're going to power through the day. Right. I don't know
I
how you're going
know.
to power through the day. And so some of us, I feel like if we're not careful, even the way we start the day, is so important. Cyndi, how do you start the day? In your best moments, on your
Fucked
best
up.
days, how do you start?
Not plugged in. I like that. We're just not plugged in right. I never start my day without prayer. Never, never, ever, 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 ever.
Right.
I pray. I have my meditation time. That's my time where I pretty much detox every single day. I'm thanking God for another day. I'm asking Him, I'm thanking Him, I'm asking Him, and then I'm receiving from Him. I'm thanking Him. Thank you for today. You know what I mean? I'm thanking Him. Then I'm asking Him, guide my day, guide the way I go, the way that I drive, the way you want me to navigate, the people you want me to meet. And then I receive because I
Right.
put in the atmosphere what He needs to hear. So now I'm ready to receive those
Right.
things that He desires from me. They don't just fall out of the air. And so I have to apply myself. So I start my day off like that. I'm
Right.
walking, I'm doing some kind of exercise, getting my
Right.
body in shape, ready for the day. If not, I'll be sluggish. I'll be tired by 12 noon. I'm just but when I start out, really good, I'm out, I'm walking. I've had my water. I drink a gallon and a half of water a day.
Wow.
So, meditation, prayer, meditation, exercise, a good shower, and then I'm ready to start. Then I start with the checking of the emails and
Right.
who's
Notification.
trying to contact me, what do
Right.
I need to do. I've done at a glance at the beginning of the week. I do a quick glance of what my week looks like. So at
Right.
Sunday, I already know what I'm up against on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Saturday. That's not, I'm not surprised on Wednesday when Wednesday morning hits.
That's right. I
So
love it.
prayer, meditation, exercise, I'm doing all of that first. And then I begin to interact with people. So many times we're interacting with people before we've even heard from God.
Right. Oh,
We haven't
right.
talked to Him and we haven't listened for direction from Him. And then my day begins. The
Right.
things that I need to do, whether it's minuscule or whether it's something major, then I'm ready to start my day. And normally by 12 noon, half of my day's over, Lisa, because I start out really early. I'm not
Right.
laying in the bed because
Yes.
because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an
Right.
educator and I have a
Yes.
tutoring business. And so I'm on the school schedule. So when school starts, I'm working like the teachers. I'm tutoring,
Uh,
keeping a roster of 10 to 12 kids a school year. So in
yeah.
the summer, I have to be very intentional about how I spend my time because
Right.
that's the time that I'm regrouping and trying to take care of things for Cyndi.
I love that. I love that. I hope you guys were able to take those tips away. Line number 20 is really about the family. It's about
Yeah,
making sure that as we do include all the wonderful people in our lives, that we're stopping to prioritize our families. I don't think we're going to get to the end of our lives and say, I wish I had done one more PowerPoint. I wish I had gone to one more business meeting. But it's that time with those that we love. So as we pour, right, every deposit that you make into someone, think of that as a pour. That as we pour, that we're pouring into those that we truly have been assigned to. Our
that's right.
children, we've been assigned to. The elders, we've been assigned to. What does that pour look like? Right? What does that pour look like? And are we prioritizing it so that it really aligns with our values? Again, chapter 5, lies women believe. It's all about
My
priority. I
goodness.
know, I know. I thought it was great. And just a little something spicy for you. Chapter 6 is all about sensuality and sexuality. So if anything will drive you to the book, that'll probably drive you to the book. All right. So lies women believe. I'll put a
Gotta get
link.
the book tonight. Ordering the book tonight.
Chapter 6. Chapter 6. So I gotta make sure that you guys have a link, right? Chapter 5, all about priorities. Chapter 6, a little more spicy. And we'll see what
That's
the author has to
good.
say about that. All right. So, Cyndi, I want to turn it over to you. That was my hot topic for the night. Do you have a hot topic for tonight you want to talk about? And then we'll
You
get
know
into
what? I'm
health and
really
wealth.
enjoying this. I think this was very good.
Yes.
Um, for the women, I mean, the one word that just pops in my mind before we log off is I like the priority, but along with priority, consistency. I think we
Ooh,
get so confused with those two. Prioritizing is important, but we must remain consistent. We do
Right.
really good starting something. I heard you in the very beginning say it's okay to begin again, to
Yes.
start again.
Yes.
We
Come
we
on.
love to talk about starting something. I'm going to start to write this book. I'm going to start a diet or to lose weight or a healthier lifestyle. I'm going to
Right.
start taking
Right.
care of me. But then, you might get some hiccups along the way, or it may
Right.
not work the way you expect. And then you drop everything. It's the again, the word again is
Again.
it's that's the key word. It's
Right.
okay
It's
to
okay.
begin again. And that's just
That's
about anything that we go through.
right.
Beginning again, I counsel so many people, especially women, that, bad marriages where they're like, well, I'm kind of dating someone, but I'm scared because I don't want to start all over again. Or I want to get my degree or another degree, but I don't want to go to school again. I
Right.
really need a new job or a new career, but I don't want to forget everything I've done and start over again. The key
Again.
word is again, and to remain consistent in your again, because the consistency is what will take you to the end.
It
Beginning is
will.
okay, but we can't just begin. We got to get to the end.
Right. That's
Notice
it.
that when you read a book, come on, here comes the kindergarten teacher in me,
Okay. Come on.
that
Come on.
it says in the beginning, even in the
Right.
Bible, in the beginning, and then
In the
there's a middle, and then there's happily ever after.
after.
But you don't get to the end without the middle and without a start.
That's
And
right.
so I think that as women,
Wow.
especially, that
Wow.
we're so hard on ourselves. And if it didn't work, whatever that it is, that we just kind of drop the ball and we forget to remain consistent.
Right.
Consistency means even if there's a problem with it or if it's a struggle, that you stick with it. We need that
Right.
stick to itiveness to help us get to the end. It's
Right.
not the begin that's the problem, it's getting to the end. And
That's
so
it.
remaining consistent, even as I look at you, with your beautiful, gorgeous self, very well maintained. No one knows what all you go through in your day, your work schedule. You wear all these hats, but then I look at you and I'm like, look at Lisa. How's Lisa maintaining? Because it's easier, I told y'all last time, to obtain something than it is to maintain it.
Boy, that's good. Boy, that's good. Boy, that's good, Cindy.
I'm looking at you and I'm like, but you're maintaining.
Thank you.
You're maintaining what you started. And that's what I want to leave today with whoever's listening, or when you replay it, remain consistent to your call and to your cause. Whatever it
Right.
is that's most important to you and whatever you want to accomplish, you must remain consistent. Prioritize,
Good.
find out what's most important, and when you realize what's most important and create that balance, remain
Mhm.
consistent.
That's it. It's consistency. As we wrap up, we wanted to close talking about weight loss. We wanted to wrap up talking about health. We wanted to wrap up talking about being in a good mental space. If you don't know, Cindy and I, between the two of us, we've lost about 300 pounds. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy, crazy, crazy. And so we thought we would just leave you guys. Can you imagine? Like, seriously. I saw some people today, sister friend, who I hadn't seen these people in a year, in a year. And they literally walked by me. And these are
I
people
know.
that I have known for years and years and years because they didn't know who I was. And I heard multiple times, if it wasn't for your voice, I wouldn't have known. Because, and so I want to say that your transformation can be just that radical, whether it is weight loss or whether it's finances or whether it's career or whatever it is. And these days I think of myself as a transformation specialist. And so one of the things I want to
Oh,
focus
you
in.
are. Oh, you definitely are that.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. A transformation specialist. But you know what, Pastor Cyndi? I want to take a word right out of your mouth, and I'm going to use that for my tip for weight loss, for better health. And that's simply the word consistency, right? Whatever it is you're going to do. In fact, let me back up just a little bit. I wouldn't even pick up a thing that I couldn't be consistent in. I don't believe in crash diets. I don't believe in something that you can just do for 2 weeks.
Don't
I've done
either.
it all. Whatever you can think of, more likely than not, it is highly unlikely that you can come up with something that I didn't try. What I finally figured out is that I couldn't pick up a thing that I couldn't keep holding. I needed to
Woo.
be consistent. I wasn't trying to lose weight to get an address. I wasn't trying to lose weight for an event.
Come
I
on
wasn't
here.
trying to lose weight for a person. There wasn't a person that I was trying to get their attention or a person that I was trying to please. It was me. Remember what we said at the beginning? Isn't it time that you put you first? Isn't it time that as you pour into all the people and all the things that you also have your hands up? Isn't it
That's right.
time for you? And if it's not, when exactly is it going to be time for you? When is that time going to come? Unless you structure it, unless you schedule it, unless you say, now is my time,
Exactly.
life is going to continue to order your steps. Your notifications are going to continue to order your steps. And so the first step in consistency is don't even pick stuff up that you can't be consistent in, right? Don't even pick up, if I'm going to run 35 miles a day. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're
You do
not.
it one. If you do it one time just to prove it to yourself, you're not going to do it again.
Right. So what can you do consistently? Because even if you do a little bit consistently, it would be better than pouring yourself into a crash diet, a crash exercise program for 2 weeks, throwing it away, and then backsliding, so to speak, and eating all the things and doing all the things and sitting on the couch for the next 3 months. And so consistency, that would be my tip. Okay, Pastor Cyndi, I'm handing the baton to you. All right, in this dynamic
I love
duo,
it.
nearly 300 pounds of
I
hours,
love it. I
what
love
can
it.
folks do to be better?
That's what I started doing. I didn't when I was working out with my brother, I started out gradually. He was like, "This is going to hurt." He said, "It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to get on your nerves. It's going to make you angry, but the results are going to be out of this world." And so
That's
I
it.
didn't start out trying to run 3 miles a day like my brother. He's a fitness guru. I didn't
Right,
start out trying to do 100 jumping jacks every day. I started out doing what I could. I said, I can commit to walking 2 times a week.
right,
And he said,
right,
that's good because that's
right.
more than what you were doing at first. I would
Yes.
commit. Monday, I'm going to start the week and I'm going to end it. Friday, I'm going to walk 15 minutes. That 15 minutes turned into 30 over a course of months. And the next thing I knew it, I was walking a mile.
Look at you.
I was walking 3 miles because
That's
of
right.
how I started out gradually. And that gradually was my consistency.
It
I
was
did
your,
what I was able to do.
that's it.
Exactly.
That's
And
it.
stop lying to yourself because someone else did it or they did it this way and you say you
Right,
can do it this way. Lean a little bit closer, people. Sometimes they're not even doing what they told you they did.
right, right, right.
Do
No,
what
it's
you're
true.
able do what you're able to do. And my little bit turned into bigger and greater, and it brought great results. And that's what we talk
Yes,
about tonight: fitness, prioritizing, consistency.
yes,
That
yes,
little bit turned into me losing 130 pounds.
girl. Girl.
I lost a
When
whole person. You lost a whole person.
I love the fact that all of this tonight, every single subtopic, all of it blends together so beautifully. I hope you guys have taken away a piece of our hearts tonight
Me
because that's
too.
what we wanted to share. We wanted to share that you are so important, right? Out of the book, Lies Women Believe, right? Lies Women Believe, chapter 5. Our focus was priority, right? The tip that Cyndi wanted to share was consistency. And then in terms of health, it's still consistency. Take something away from that. We want you to be motivated. We want you to be encouraged. We want you to be empowered. But at the end of the day, we want you to change, right? We want you to change and we want you to level up. Because when exactly are you going to do that if you don't start now? Now is the time. Now is the time. We're in the 8th month. Before we know it, 2024 is going to be in the history books. We are not getting to the end of this year without our goals accomplished. Whatever's on your mind, whatever you've been thinking about, that is the thing. Stop throwing that out of your head. That is the thing. Let's get started. Cyndi, any closing words?
You did it. No, great wrap up. I would say just take all of that and do it. Just do it.
That's it.
Just do it.
That's it. And while you're doing it, I want you to check out Pastor Cyndi, Cynthia Diggs, Cyndi Diggs. If you would take her name, look across all the socials. She's everywhere. She has a very dynamic preaching schedule. She is definitely the kind of person that you want to come in. She's preparing even tonight to go somewhere tomorrow. Cyndi, give the people your itineraries just in case they're around and about and can come out and join in, or things you
Yes.
have coming up. Let the people know, or at least where they can go to find out what's going on with you.
Yes, I know we're heading to Lawton, Oklahoma on tomorrow. But I will be back in the Texas area over here where the people are, my people in
That's
Hurst
right.
at the Hurst Convention Center. It's a major conference that takes place every
Awesome.
year. Lady Regina Crane and Regina Crane Ministries, and I am her guest speaker. And I think this is like the fourth or fifth year. It'll be at the Hurst Convention Center. This year,
Wow.
we're talking about to get her to know it's time.
It's time, right?
To
All
get
of
her
this.
to know it's
It's
time.
time. All of
And
this is blending together.
hundreds of women gather, and we empower one another. There's praise dance, there's the worship, and then there's the word. It's not long, but it's strong. And I'm
Wow.
glad to be a part of that in August. And then I'll be a part of the Breathe conference coming up in Belton, Texas in October. I have several things coming up in September. Off the top of my head, I'm over 50 now, so I can't remember it all, but there's lots of things coming up. You can always find me at www.cynthiadiggs.com. On
That's
Facebook,
right.
I'm just straight up Cynthia Diggs, and we can talk there. You can see all the flyers, they're always posted. My PR
Right.
media team is just off the chain, and so they're not going to leave you ignorant. They're going to keep you involved and informed. I would love for you to follow. I would love for you to come along with this journey and let me help you. Let me guide you, help you, throw some nuggets your way to help you get to the end, because it's
Right.
not about how you start. It's not about the things that happen in the middle. By the rivers of Babylon, they sat. From Jerusalem to the promised land, there was Babylon. And
Right.
that's just the meantime. We've got to get to the promise. And so
Right.
the way you get to the promise is by connecting with people like this wonderful influencer, Lisa Alexander herself. And I'm glad to just be along for the journey and to help my sister, to help all of us come together and get to the end of this. So I
That's it.
appreciate you for just inviting me. And I think that as we continue to drop nuggets and pop up, just be
Yeah.
ready at any time for a pop up. When y'all see us pop up, you pop in and we can pop out together.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Thank you guys so much for joining. As you know, I keep all of my everything that I'm doing, motivational, inspirational, as a speech coach, all the things I do on YouTube, all of that is available. My finish, right? My finish T-shirt. Come on.
I love it. I
Now
love
it's
it.
time to finish. It's time to finish. So if you need your T-shirt, let me know. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. We don't take it for granted. It's been a pleasure to spend some time with you tonight. And we can't wait to see you next time when it's time to pop up with
You
Elisa
pop in.
and pop in with Pastor Cyndi. Thank you so much, you guys. See you soon.
Bye. God bless you.